Hello again. This is Tracy Sipple, the speech and language pathologist and teletherapist. I wanted to provide a quick demonstration of WebEx platform and how you can use that for teletherapy if you're not very familiar with it. I am going to call it up on the desktop here, and it's basically just www.webex.com. And I realize you can't see the section of my screen that's where I type in the information, but that's okay. The main focus is going to be right in here, which is the way I have the video set up. Okay. WebEx is taking a minute. There we go. Now you need to set up an account. The free account, just like with GoToMeeting, allows you to interact with 3 people total, which isn't the most ideal for teletherapy. You're probably going to have a few more clients than that. So you'd have to look into the products and the pricing. It seems to me it's not as a very expensive packaging, which package you want, compared to GoToMeeting. They're pretty similar that way. They're both pretty affordable. So you'll have to examine that. But I'm going to sign in for this demonstration, and it probably will recognize me right away. I end meetings when I'm using this platform, but I don't usually sign out because then it saves me time and getting or logging back in. There are 3 things I do, or that I use WebEx for. One is worksheets and interacting with them, just like I do with GoToMeeting. The second thing is watching videos, which is similar to GoToMeeting, but I find that WebEx is a little more versatile, and the sound, controlling the sound of the video and for the students to actually be able to hear it, is better. And then the third thing is I like to interact with software on my computer, and WebEx just seems to have a better setup for that. So, all right, I'm just going to type in my old email address. So I will basically be attending my own meeting. Okay, and I want to meet now. You can send one via email, schedule a meeting, or a meeting number. And I'm going to click, since I'm all set, I'm going to click Start. And let's see. Oh, you also have the ability to use a whiteboard like you did with GoToMeeting. I know when I showed you that GoToMeeting platform, the video before this one, I use the Paint program to interact with a lot of things. This has a number of tools available to interact with materials, so I don't even need to use the Paint program that comes with your computer or accessory. If you want to call using the computer, you can do that. What we're going to do, and I find, at least for most of the things that I do, is just sharing the desktop to be the easiest. So I'm going to click on More, and it's going to ask which monitor I want to share, and this is my main one. And I'm in the meeting, and this is if somebody logs on and finds out, oh, they started already, they would click on Join to start. But I can't do that obviously because it's the way I have it set up for this demonstration. Once you share your screen, you'll have this toolbar at the top, which is great. And this gives you even more flexibility as to what you want to share. Assigning, that gives you the opportunity to give the student the control of the mouse and the keyboard so they can click on things that interact, or to interact with different things, different programs. Audio, I have never really used. Participants just tells you who's here, gives you information on the side as to who is the presenter and who's all attending. You just have to put your cursor up here and this will slide down. You can chat with somebody if you're having technical issues, or if somebody else is giving a presentation and you want to send them a question. And annotate, which is pretty similar to the assigning icon. So let's get started. I'm going to get rid of the chat and the listing of who is here. And I would like to call up a program that I have. And I just have a file with hidden pictures on my desktop. It comes in very handy if I need a quick activity for some reason, or if I use it as a planned activity, either way. As long as you're sharing the desktop, you can call up any type of worksheet. And you can control the size, obviously. You don't want to make it too small, only because then it becomes really difficult to see the information. All right. So let's say we're taking turns. I use this for positive reinforcement a lot of times too. The kiddos really like it. So the pictures, I'll say, okay, Johnny, what we're going to do is say your word 5 times, and then after we're done, you can choose one of these pictures around the outside of the main picture to look for it. They're hidden inside the picture itself, and let's see who can find it first if you want to do it that way. So anyway, if you want to give him control so he can circle what he finds after he practices. I love to call that earn a turn. The kids seem to understand, you know, they have to work and then they earn their turn to play type of thing. You can change the color here. Okay, oops, I suppose you can't see that. Let me move it over here in this area. This box, you change the color. This is the pen tool or pencil tool. This is the shape tool. This allows you to draw lines or arrows. This just shows that you can put text in there. This arrow puts your name or whoever's using it at that point. It's like using a pointer on the screen. If I click, it says my name inside the arrow. And if I click a different spot, it'll move the arrow itself. And of course you have the eraser here. So let's say we'll use the marker and the student decides to look for the hat. So you might say, okay, it's your turn to find the hat, Miss Tracy. So then I'm going to click on the pencil and I'm going to look for the hat. And let's say I find it. I'm just doing a quick job here. Oh, it's right there. And then you can circle it, or the student has a chance to circle it if it's his turn. Okay, so you're basically calling up, just opening a file that has a worksheet in it and then interacting with the pens or the pencils or the different tools. All right, now if I want to be able to use my mouse again or my cursor to switch to a different activity, I have to go back up to annotate and click on it, and that'll give me back my cursor. So I'm going to click on this activity, and then I would like to show you let's say I'm still sharing my desktop. If you want to show a video, you can click on the share button at the top here, and I would choose that, and it should give me a box as a file on your computer. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to use my figurative language activities because I have videos in there. And excuse me, the one I want to show or watch with you is Ormy the pig. Now, because I went through that share application and I'm sharing a video, you should be able to hear that sound as well as myself. That's one of the problems with GoToMeeting is the sound doesn't always carry through, so then you have to take your headphones off. But this should work. And this is great for social skills. Plus you can use the tools again up here for the drop-down menu. I take that back. I said you can use the tools up here at the top of the screen, but while the video is playing, because you have that application open, excuse me, it won't allow you to use the tools. Okay, so you get the idea of the pig video. You could just show it on your desktop. The only difficulty is I don't think the sound transfers then. So you're going to have to kind of play with it and do trial and error to see, you know, what works and what doesn't work. I do know, like for sharing the software that I have on my computer, it has to go through that application. Again, the sharing the application. So let's see here. And I'm wondering, probably would be easiest to... Oh, I also wanted to show you this before I forget. The whiteboard, if you want a plain whiteboard, that's at the top. You click on the plus, and you can open as many different whiteboards as you want, I believe. And then you can toggle between them, which is great, because if you have something on this whiteboard, let's say you cut and paste a picture on here, and then you want them to write about it, you can switch between whiteboards. That would allow you to do that. Okay, so now we're going to share an application that's on my computer. And the toolbar is not coming down, I think because I must have clicked out of share my screen. Maybe because of that video. I'd have to switch it back, I bet. Back to desktop. Let's see. Yep, sure enough, I had to click back to sharing desktop. Okay. If you do that, that's fine too. Otherwise, as long as you get the share button and you can choose an application. Now, these are some that are on my desktop right now. The one program that I'm going to show you is not, so I'm going to have to click on it to have it pop up. It's going to give me a list here. Okay, and let's see. Some of them aren't applicable as far as applications you can use to work with kids. It shows everything on here, including my virus protection. Let's do social skills cards. I just double click on that. Okay, and again, because we shared it, and we're sharing it via the application, the student should be able to hear it and interact with it. So I'm just going to type in me, literally me, and the last name is Mimi. Me. I wonder if there's anybody out there with that name. I'm going to choose me and click Chose User. We're going to have a new session. You can choose, these programs are so fun and excellent because of the fact that you can pick specific things to work on, and it can also keep the score for you. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit.
Paul has more ice cream.
And it also can read it to you. If you do not want the audio, then you can turn it off within the program itself. So we're going to start the session. Oops, one skill. Let's pick being responsible. Okay. So the school restroom is a mess. Let's say you want to have the student take over from here. You could go up to the assign button and you could say pass keyboard and mouse control. And if another person were attending this meeting besides myself, their name would show up here, I believe, or the school or whatever. It might even say computer 2. You would click on that, and then they would be able to click on like question, and it would read the question.
Why is this school restroom so messy? The school doesn't have a custodian to clean it. Students are throwing paper on the floor instead of in the trash can.
And then they would choose, okay, Johnny, which answer do you think makes the most sense? And you would pre-teach the skill, obviously, ahead of time. This would be like a reinforcement.
Nice work.
To make sure that they've acquired the skill.
Why should the students keep the school restroom clean? They could spread germs in a dirty restroom. They could get a prize for the cleanest restroom.
Why should students keep the restroom clean? They could spread germs in a dirty restroom.
Terrific.
Okay, so you get the idea. No, I don't want to save the results. All right. I click onto that. Okay, and it tells me I closed the shared application. So if I want to show another application or another program, I would need to reshare that then. So we did the worksheet, we did the video, and we did the software on the computer. I think that's it. Again, it's more or less trial and error. Go on and try it out and see how you like it. I'm sure that you would get a free trial period, or I would think so. Most companies would do that if you like for 10 days or a week maybe, and see what you think. It's not as complicated as it might look when you first log on or log in. It's just a matter of getting a feel for what I showed you today. If you want to do a worksheet, first of all, when I get on, I share the desktop. And then if you want to do a worksheet, I just call up the worksheet. And those tools should come down from the top, or they may come over from the side. However you want to do it. If you're going to show a video, then I would share, go under share, and then choose. If it shows up at the top, again, it would look similar to this. My desktop right now, I'm not sharing, so that's why that's there. But otherwise, if I wanted to share a video, that would be the best way to do it so that everybody can hear the sound. Or the application, if it's a program that you want to use, I would share that way. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for the WebEx. I hope you feel like you were able to benefit from this video demonstration. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to write them or send them to me. You could go into my blog, and the blog's name is Teletherapy dash from my desktop to yours. If you want to do a search for that, and it would show up there. I think for the next video, I'm going to compile some online activities and web links that you can use for therapy that you might find very helpful. All right. Well, thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.